Hello, everyone, and welcome to It Napo a Day. How are you all doing this week? It's been a rough one, a eventful one, for sure for me. How are you guys doing? As always, we're gonna start off with our 5-minute meditation, and then we're gonna get into our episode topic. So, without further ado, let's do that. I am worth it and deserving of all that is meant for me. I'm enough today and every day. I prioritize myself. I choose myself. I love myself. My feelings are valid. I can be trusted to make good decisions for myself. I respect my non-negotiable boundaries. I love and accept all of me. I know my life is better than anything I ever dreamed of. I am grateful for those who teach me how to love myself. I am a valued and cherished being. I know grace is the new look. I take care of myself mentally, spiritually, and physically. I am easy on myself. Only talk to myself with love, positivity, and excitement for the future. I remain kind to myself as I move on from past mistakes. I am in love with myself and desire a partner who is too. I am calm, confident, and powerful. I am building the body of my dreams. I am happy in my own skin and in my own circumstances. I am enough. I am worthy. I am blessed. I can provide everything I need to live a happy life. I am strong and courageous. I am worth each and every one of my desires. My way forward is paved with the strength of an open heart and the power of an open mind. I love that I am courageous, even when my knees feel weak. I am independent and optimistic about my future. I give myself the loyalty I give to others. I know sometimes canceling plans is self-care. Everything I need is already within me. I dismiss the stories in my head that cause me to worry needlessly. I create an environment that supports my inner peace. As I make this new beginning, I'm committed to becoming the best version of myself. I am willing to create the life I desire. When I set boundaries, they are firm and respected. I love myself more each day. I embrace my vulnerability. It is okay to choose myself first. Being grateful keeps the door open for more blessings. I live my life for me, not for what others think. I am allowed to love who I am today, even while still growing into my best self. I'm in love right now with my true self. I don't need to be perfect to be beautiful. I am proud of my accomplishments. And with that, that's going to do it for a 5-minute meditation. Let's go ahead and get into the episode topic. Okay, so for this week's episode topic question, that's going to require a little bit of not necessarily harsh, but more raw insight into how you are, right? So the episode topic question for this week is, what is the difference between how you see yourself and how others see you? So I know I mentioned in the 5-minute meditation that how others see you is not really that important. And in the grand scheme of things, yes and no for that. So for example, right? It matters in the sense that, you want to be able to interact with others and get along well. Not just for things that benefit you, but just in general to, be a kind person, or whatever kind of person really that you set out to be. You want to do your best to be that, right? So most of the time, I would say most people want to, be genuine and be kind, at least within themselves. But, that's not always the case in terms of how it presents itself, kind of thing, right? So for me, I kind of looked at it in 3 different ways. How others see me, right? How I see myself, and then what I feel like is the dissonance or the difference between it. So to start off with, I think others tend to see me in a lot more positive of a light than I tend to see myself. And I would say most people probably would and often do speak very highly of me. For myself, I understand when they say what they say when they compliment me, why they speak highly of me, why they speak positively of me, because I'm a generally positive and I'm the person that they are describing. But sometimes it just feels I don't know, it just feels weird to hear that people think of me that way. It makes my heartstrings they're tugged every time I hear something along those lines of how people think of me, and how genuine I do come off to people when I always feel it's not I'm not doing good enough with that. I often feel even though they speak positively of me, I feel I could do better, right? So for example, one of my classmates pulled me aside the other day, and we had taken an exam, and they asked, how did you feel about the exam? I was like, I feel okay about it. I don't feel I did too bad. But I was discussing aspects that, kind of made me mad about the exam, or that I felt could have been better optimized, kind of thing. And, it's not it wasn't like prompted or anything, but she starts saying, you're well liked, you're well loved, like people enjoy having you around, they enjoy your presence, you're a genuinely good person and you care about others, and like it's shown, kind of thing. And like she was just saying these things, and I'm just like, people really think that about me? Like I guess it's because of how I view myself, and it'll explain why. It's just like when I hear those things, that comes as a surprise to me, right? So I tend to see myself a lot more negatively, in the sense of that I am my biggest critic, and I mean like my biggest critic. Like I'll be doing good, and it's just like, yeah, you're doing good, but you could be doing better, kind of thing. And I feel like I often second guess myself or focus on negative aspects a little more often than I probably should. And I say I probably shouldn't because, it does give me anxiety thinking about those things. But, like, in general, like, I'm used to that when I mess up, that, like, I've messed up, I'm, like, irredeemable in a sense. Like, if I, like, do something or say something that, like I've had this happen this past semester, fall semester, and this spring semester, where I did already said something, and like I said it with good intention, and my brain automatically, switched to, oh, but like what if they thought of it this way, or what if they thought of it this way? Now, like they're like you're a different person than what I thought you were, kind of thing. In the sense, like, for example, if I say like a joke and it's not meant to be, mean or anything when I initially say it, but then I think about how someone else could think about it, like whether they're sensitive to something like that, or like they've had history in their own past about how, it might be like a trigger for them. So like I think of things in that way a lot. And I'll say things, I'll end up apologizing, and like they're like, you're fine, like I didn't think you were meaning it like that in any way, shape, or form. I guess for me, I like to cover my bases in the sense, make people know that, I don't ever try to, hurt people or anything like that. But even in the off chances that I feel like I do, which is like, the other person, like, no, like you didn't in any way, shape, or form, like there's like no like appreciative of like my comment or my advice or my joke or whatever it is. Like, I automatically think to like, well, what if they thought of it this way? And I apologize in the sense of, if they took it that way, then they make sure they know that I didn't mean it that way. And if I did offend them, that I am sorry about that, because that was not my intention, kind of thing. That's kind of how I tend to operate for stuff like that. When I say my biggest critic, like I'm always pushing myself to do more, be better, and I've learned mainly through school. School's like, helped me realize it a lot, that sometimes it's okay to, just be. That it really is okay to just be. Sometimes these are like things that go on in my head, right, that I'm explaining, right? And I don't really act on things other than, if I feel like I offended somebody in some way, that I do apologize, as soon as possible. But in fact, like, sometimes I don't have the courage to, like, say sorry as soon as possible, depending on, like, who it is that I'm talking to. But I do try to always make it my business to make things right. And make sure that it's, like, understood that that's not my intention. Growing up, I did not get, like, praise for much. Firstborn, only girl. A lot of what was put on me in terms of pressure was that you have to be good because, you have others following you. And that's great. I think the lesson overall wasn't bad in terms of, like, how it helped me build character. I don't find fault in that. My fault was that when I did do well, then I did do things that I felt like were worthy of praise. That other kids, when they talk about their parents or whatever, or their upbringing, that they would get praised for. I didn't really get those things. It's just like, okay, like, you got 100, like, where's the 105, or where's the the bonus, like, kind of thing. It's like, you did good, but you could be great. It's like a constant, like, you could be better kind of thing. So for me, it really did make me feel like a lot of what I did, a lot of what I do, even to this day, is not good enough, and that I constantly have to be improving. It's hard for me sometimes to just be, but it's something I've definitely worked on, a crazy amount, and it is literally, like, one of the most life-changing things for me in terms of, like, how well I'm, like, doing for myself now, if that makes sense. Like, it was a lesson that's good, but, like, definitely overshot where we're supposed to land up, the goal is, for me to be humble as a person. And, like, I do feel like I'm humble as a person, but because of how it was in my upbringing and how, like, it's, like, I guess, conditioned me kind of thing, like, it's kind of weird whenever I think about, complimenting myself or praising myself or something. Like, I feel awkward about it. And then, like, like, for example, I can say something, like, you look great today, but it's just like, tone it down kind of thing. Like, I don't really look at, my achievements and what I've accomplished, in so much, not necessarily a positive light, but I don't give myself, my just desserts and my congratulations for things that, I've gone through, I've put up with, and I've, succeeded in accomplishing. Like, I just don't do that. And for me, I think it puts me in a bad space because of the fact that I'm my biggest critic. It's just, I can do this, but, could have been better. Like, you could have done more, kind of thing. It sometimes feels like, as I said earlier, that what I do is not good enough. And it's hurtful in the sense that, like, it hurts my friends to, or, people that care about me in general that, see or hear that I don't really have, that support that they have for me, that I don't have that for myself. Like, I love myself. Like, that's not even like a doubt anymore, because I do make decisions that are, best for me. Or at least try to do what's best for me as much as possible. But I know it hurts my friends, and that hurts my heart when they know I don't see myself like that. And I know that it's bad in the sense that, I overshot, like, the conditioning of that was like overshot, but I try to look at it in a positive light, in the sense that, like, I don't ever want to come off as not being humble and not being, grateful for everything that I have in my life, the opportunities that I was afforded growing up or anything. I don't want to ever, negate that fact, and I want to be humble. But I feel like one of the things I heard before is that, like, when you're humble people don't say they're humble, right? And I try really not to say that I'm humble, but I do feel like I am. But I feel like it's on the cusp of being, like, very, very negative. But that's more so because of where I was before I did a lot of healing. So that'll get me into, like, the difference between, like, how others see me and, like, how I see myself. So I do think I focus so much on constantly trying to improve, heal, and, be understood, that I often forget that, like, I am a great person too. Like, as much as, you have kind words to say for everybody, even the people that, like, don't, like, treat you well, like, I still find something good to say about them, because there is a good trait within them. I can't find, the courage or the bravery. I can't find that in myself. It's not necessarily that I can't. It's very hard to look at myself in that way. And as I said, I do want to be humble, not just necessarily appear humble. Like, I actually want to be humble. And I would say with that, my biggest hurdle is not really realizing, the range that's possible of how, or like, how appropriate it is to, praise yourself, but still, give yourself, space to, be like, as I said, hey, look, you look good, but, and cool, it kind of thing. I do appreciate how much I've grown, because, like, definitely my confidence overall within myself, as I said, I do love myself now. It's been a journey to get to this point where I can actually say that with confidence. It's just that I do have moments, of course, where, like, I feel less than, or I feel like I am not lovable, or I feel like I'm a burden, or I'm, like, too annoying to, like, want the people who actually want to be around me, kind of thing. And it's like those types of things are what is what really worries me, um, like, going forward about stuff. Um, I obviously want to be liked, but I'm not the type of person that wants to be liked just for the sake of being liked. I want people to like me for me, for being raw, for being genuine, um, for wanting to, love others, seeing that is outpouring from my heart, that I do have love for others, and that I put my best foot forward in terms of interactions and making people feel good about themselves where they should. Um, being their biggest cheerleader. Uh, and doing that for them, even though it's really hard for myself. And I think one of the biggest things that shows that for me is so I recently, I think I mentioned on one of my last podcasts, I made cookies for like my class, right? And we have like elections and whatever coming up for like orgs and class, and I think it's really interesting because when I did it with the sense of like I want to do something for other people. It's Valentine's Day. I don't know about other people's stories. I don't know about other people's journeys, like in totality, but I know that like I haven't ever really had good Valentine's Days. Like I've never really, never had like the boyfriend, never really had like the crush that likes me, never really had those opportunities that I saw other people have growing up. Like, a lot of, like, my feelings and stuff, like, were rejected or, like, um, funny story, I remember in elementary school when we were passing out Valentines to our class, and I liked my friend at the time, and I liked him as a friend, but I liked him in the sense like I thought he was cute, like the boyfriend girlfriend thing in elementary school is like you go and like play research or whatever, um, and I remember that I had wrote on my Valentine to him that like he is like one of my best friends, and I said that I liked him. Like more than a friendly guy, I would want him to be my boyfriend kind of thing. Um, that did not go well. I he gave the Valentine to the teacher, and the teacher kind of like pulled me aside and chewed me out, saying, I was making him uncomfortable and stuff. And I apologized for, making him uncomfortable in that instance because, like, it was like a group exchange and, like, everyone in the class kind of got silent because of it. And, like, he kind of he was standoffish. Like, if you don't like me, right, especially as, like, at that age, like, that's, like, a fine thing. Like, in elementary school, a lot of times you get over things, right? My problem with the situation was the fact that my teacher not only chewed me out for it, but also said that, like, if I wanted to continue to participate in, like, the Valentine's activity that we were doing as a class, this is like fourth grade or something, or like third grade or something like that, like very young elementary school. She said that if I wanted to, continue to participate for the day, then I would need to, rip up the one I made and, just give him a generic one with, I couldn't put like a note or anything on it. But obviously, like the Valentine's things we had, like those are the pre-made ones that like come in the box that like they have at like the store. So it's like, they have like a 25 pack or whatever. So it's like, if I have the 25 pack, whatever's left, like my mom like kind of takes it and she like puts it away. So like we can have stuff for our Valentine's Day either next year or that have stuff for ourselves for Valentine's Day. So like I had like one or two, I think, extras, but I think they were out of the house or like whatever. Basically, she was just like, if you want to participate, then like you have to like rewrite it and like you can't like talk to him or anything. And I was like, I'm fine with not talking to him. Like if he's really uncomfortable with the fact that I said I liked him, like I respect it. Like I'll keep my distance. I didn't want to make him uncomfortable in that sense. But I don't know, it was just how she chewed me out. Let's just say that that she made it very apparent that I should stay in my lane, um, with confessing my feelings, and like that I shouldn't like put that on somebody. And I was like, okay, I agree. Like it could be like very awkward and very uncomfortable for him. I agree. Like I apologize for that aspect. But what I didn't apologize for, and that I did stand firm for, I remember she made me sit on the couch for the remainder of the day. Uh, was that like she told me that I couldn't have those feelings. Like I couldn't um like one, that I couldn't have those feelings. Two, that my feelings were wrong. Um, and then like basically like I should just repress everything or whatever. And that as I said, she basically told me to stay in my lane. Like uh, he was too attractive of a boy, right? To like want to be with me. And I'll just say that me, the boy, and the teacher were all of different races. So, um, I'll just say in general, like me and the boy were not the same race or the same like ethnicity, if you will. Um, so that was like a really like big blow, and like even like thinking about it now, like I still feel hurt because it wasn't really a lesson on making people feel comfortable, because I got that understanding. I told him, like if you don't like me, that's cool. Like I told him that myself. Um, but he, he was uncomfortable, so he told the teacher, that's fine. Um, but it made just me feel really negative towards like expressing anything that I felt, um, no matter who it was. Uh, so like when I get like rejected, um, in some form or fashion, it's not necessarily like relationship type stuff, but like when I get rejected about stuff, I tend to beat myself up more, because I never really got that. Like it wasn't a positive influence, a positive reinforcement. Like your feelings are like valid. Like it's okay that you have them, but he doesn't feel the same. It wasn't like that narrative, like kind of thing. It was just more like you shouldn't feel these things. You need to repress them. Um, Kind of stuff and kind of mentality, and I really hated that. Like that was like she's easily one of the worst elementary school teachers I've ever had. Um, I won't say her name, um, but I really did not appreciate how negative she was, and that experience itself made me. It shaped who I was, because I didn't say a lot of things when they were wrong, or I didn't speak up about a lot of things when they happened, and it made it really hard to express myself in the future. Um, I'm still learning how to do that now, but obviously that was like a really, really negative experience to, be told. And then, like, especially when it comes to relationships, um, I wear my heart on my sleeve, um, and I try to be as genuine as possible, um, in everything, so like people don't doubt where I come from or my intentions. about my words or my support or my encouragement or the love that I have for them. But it really shaped how I look at things. Um, it was like a reinforcement of them, you're not good enough kind of thing. As well as like, I found it really hard to just speak about stuff into her. I couldn't, like, I was like one of the pivotal moments or trademark moments of the things that like killed my inner child, and like how she was confident, she spoke her mind and she asked questions, and she was curious. She like was not necessarily proud, and like, I mean, she was proud of herself, but it just made it feel like everything I did was wrong, because like I definitely felt like there was a better way that that situation could have been handled, especially to this day. I definitely feel that. Um, she definitely did not talk to me in a way that was appropriate, I felt like. And I mean, I will say that she did say, like, if I have a problem, like, tell me, like, I shouldn't go to another adult for that. Advice, or I shouldn't tell my mom or whatever about the conversation. And yeah, so that was an experience. That's an experience that's shaped of how, in particular, how I view Valentine's Day. It is a day for love and gift giving or capitalism, whatever you want to say. Um, but it's also been negative for me in that sense. And this year was the first year that I wanted to rewrite that story, and I wanted to make it like my first day of a chain of good Valentine's Day, because I did it with the intention of, I didn't want people to feel like they're unloved, or you know they can't have that that they can't really have a good Valentine's Day experience. So yeah, I did it in a reason that was selfless, and it was rooted in trauma and pain for me. Um, and I did it because I wanted to make sure that not only myself but other people had um, a good experience where I've had a negative one. I mean, I've had more than one, but having a good experience in that instance. And even though I did that, I was thinking, I'm like, oh crap, elections are coming up after this. I didn't even think that you know of that when I made them. But I was just like, oh my gosh, what if people just think I'm just trying to buy their votes? What if people think this? What if people think that? And it's just like, girl, stop. Like, calm down. Like, people don't think that about you. Like, my friend, my classmates have made that abundantly clear that that's not what they think about me. But I don't know. It just feels like that maybe someone will. And I keep adjusting for that one person. And it's not really even that one person. It's the off chance that one person I theoretically feel like exists. Um, and it's just like, it's so exhausting to live life that way. Like, literally so exhausting. And yet I'm here living and being exhausted. Living and being exhausted. That's me. Um I think the biggest difference for me, knowing that there's like the reinforcement of these types of ideals, that I'm not X way or Y way kind of thing, is that I know my intentions, and I always try to remind myself, your intentions. If people question it, like, they can always ask, or if they ask, you can explain you don't necessarily have to even go out of your way to explain those types of things, which I don't, right? But I think the biggest difference between that is that I know my intentions are good ones, and I know that what I do for the sake of others, and I do it for the sense that they feel safe, they feel loved, they feel cherished, that they feel what I'm necessarily don't always feel, kind of thing, you know? I don't want them to feel the pain of anything that I've gone through. So I always act with intentions of, make life better for others. And I feel like I do that. But unfortunately, sometimes it is at the cost of my own looking positively at myself out, I should say. So this one's kind of gone on for a minute. That was a doozy of a story. Yeah. But that's gonna be the end off for this part. But before we end the episode, three good things, right? So for me, today was the start of my spring break. So if this is coming out later, guess what? It's because of that. There are some things I wanted to do earlier, so I kind of delayed, but still getting Friday release. So yeah, it's the start of spring break. That's number one. So I get a break from things, but not really. Two, in a week I'll be on a plane. Like I'll be traveling on plane for the first time. That's my second thing. That's gonna be so much fun. I'm so ready for this conference. We're in like a group chat right now, and it's like everyone has such amazing and lovely energy. Like I can't wait to meet everybody. It's just so great to have, this opportunity. I'm truly so blessed for this opportunity. 3, I start my onboarding process tomorrow for my new job, so that'll be fun. I filed my taxes, so that was cool too. I got that out the way. I think that's it. I mean, that's it for now. Hopefully I get to spend some time on spring break, like, actually free and, I want to say not doing anything, but I know, like, I have so much to do. Like, I still have to study and everything, so you're never really breaking in that sense. But I'm looking forward to, the time off. So, without further ado, thank you guys so much for listening in. This was a really long episode, probably the longest we've ever had so far. But as always, thank you so much for listening in. If you have questions, comments, ideas, concerns for the podcast, tweet me at an Apo a day with Apo, APO, and day with 2 Y's. And let me know. As always, thank you guys so much for listening in. Have a blessed week. Yeah. Love y'all. Have a good one. Bye.